Well, yesterday, Hue Jackson made some news by saying that the Browns encouraged him, the Browns and Jimmy Haslam encouraged him not to win, to tank, if you will, when he was the Browns head coach yesterday. He kind of clarified that a little bit when interviewed on ESPN.
Team at the time.
You mentioned Jimmy. Of course, you're referring to the owner, Jimmy Haslam. Were you explicitly approached by ownership or anyone in the front office to tank and that you would be incentivized for it?
This is what I would say. What I was approached by is understanding what that 4-year plan was. And I think if we understood the mechanics of it and how it was laid out, I never knew that that plan would lead to those things because I didn't understand it, being very honest. And then once I was in it and understood everything that was on that plan and how it affected myself and how others were being paid from it, then it made sense to me that this is a team that can't win, that the first 2 years, that's why I didn't talk about winning, is not to win so that you can capitalize that way, not so much for me, but for draft picks, for creating salary cap space so that they can do what they needed to do on the other end. And I do know that no head coach is going to survive if you lose a lot of games. There's no way. And so I was put out as the face of this, and I ended up having to take this.
Munch, there's a drastic difference in being told, I will pay you to go and coach to lose games, and saying, well, we're going young, we're going cheap, we're going this, and go be competitive with this. Two very different things. And it seems right there, Hugh kind of does a 180 from saying Jimmy Haslam told him to tank.
Thank you, David. You know what? Number one, Hue Jackson has no credibility. I'm just going to say that. Number two, Hue Jackson was a horrible head football coach. Number three, he was asked a question directly and did not answer it. Were you not offered money? He gave what, a yes or no, yes and no answer kind of thing? No, he wasn't. Here's the thing, though. Jimmy Haslam is a big-time businessman, okay? I do question his scruples with those other businesses when you have, on the low end, 50 people plead guilty to felonies, okay, with the trucking business. But the bottom line is this. Sashi Brown, and we have to say it, Andrew Berry, and Baldy Podesta, the trio of thieves, as I call them, they had no idea what they were doing in any way, shape, or form. So you did not have to pay the coach to lose because the team they assembled was so horrific and would continue to be horrific as Sashi remained in place. You didn't have to pay anybody to lose. You were not going to win with that team. You were not going to win letting veterans walk like a Mitchell Schwartz and just insulting him by pulling a contract off the table that he was going to sign. And for your draft choices, trading a shot to get Deshaun Watson for Njoku and Peppers in the first round, please. My reflux is going to act up. And I can go on and on, taking Corey Coleman because the computer said he was the best guy there. No, you know what your computer is? And Coach Sam told me this a while back, which your analytics are for draft day, here and in your heart, and some of it too in your gut. Okay, that's what your analytics are. Yeah, he didn't need to pay because they were going to fail no matter how hard they tried. And I'm not even sure if they were trying because I don't know what path they went down.
Right, and again, it's what he said, it has some validity to it there, just the way that team was assembled. But they didn't pay him to lose. That's very different than what Brian Flores was saying that the Dolphins did. So, again, Hugh was one, the 1-31. Man, won't that just go away? Let's forget about that. Every time we think it's in the rearview mirror, Hue Jackson comes and says, this happened when I was with the Browns.
David, I want to add this too. And again, Hugh did some decent things charity-wise. Most of the guys do. The Haslams do today, because it's what all the owners do, okay? But something that struck me, you have a Hall of Fame manager in the same city with you. And I'm sure there's some type of bond with J.B. Bickerstaff, with Kevin Stefanski, with Terry Francona, with Tito. But the bottom line is, Hugh, just remember, his last name is Francona, not Francola, okay? Mr. Jackson or whatever it is.